How good was Michael Jordan, really? It's a question that sounds almost ridiculous to ask. We all know the name. We all know the legend. 6 championships, 6 finals MVPs, 5 regular season MVPs, 10 scoring titles. The list goes on and on. For many, he's not just the greatest basketball player of all time. He's a global icon, a cultural phenomenon. But numbers on a page can sometimes feel distant. Let's really dig in and try to understand the sheer force of nature that was Michael Jordan. First, let's talk about his athleticism. In today's NBA, we see incredible athletes every night. But in the 80s and 90s, Jordan was different. He was a 6 feet 6 inches shooting guard with the strength of a power forward, the speed of a point guard, and a vertical leap that seemed to defy gravity. They didn't call him Air Jordan for nothing. His ability to hang in the air, change direction, and finish through contact was something the league had never seen before. Think about the shot over Craig Ello, where he floated in the air for what felt like an eternity. That wasn't a fluke, that was just another Tuesday for MJ. But athleticism alone doesn't make you the greatest. Jordan's skill level was off the charts. He had a complete offensive arsenal. Early in his career, he was a relentless driver, attacking the rim with a ferocity that terrified defenders. As defenses adjusted and packed the paint, he developed one of the most lethal mid-range jump shots in history. His signature fadeaway jumper was practically unguardable. He could post up smaller guards, use his quickness against bigger forwards, and he had a basketball IQ that allowed him to see plays unfold before anyone else. He wasn't just playing the game, he was controlling it. And let's not forget his defense. This is the part that often gets overlooked in the highlight reels. Jordan wasn't just a scorer, he was an elite defender. He was named to the NBA All-Defensive First Team 9 times and even won the Defensive Player of the Year award in 1988. The same year, he led the league in scoring. That's almost unheard of. He was a menace in the passing lanes, a lockdown on-ball defender, and he had an uncanny ability to come up with a crucial steal or block when his team needed it most. He took just as much pride in stopping his opponent as he did in scoring on them. Now, let's put his accomplishments into context. The era Jordan played in was brutal. The bad boy Detroit Pistons literally had Jordan rules designed to physically punish him every time he drove to the basket. Hand checking was legal, and the game was far more physical than it is today. Despite this, Jordan dominated. He led the league in scoring 10 times, a record that will likely never be broken. To put that in perspective, no other player in history has more than 7 scoring titles. For a decade, he was the undisputed best scorer on the planet. But the ultimate measure of greatness in team sports is winning. And this is where Jordan's legacy is truly cemented. Before Jordan, the Chicago Bulls were a largely irrelevant franchise. He turned them into a global dynasty. The 90s belonged to the Bulls. They won 6 championships in 8 years, achieving to separate three-peats, and in every single one of those 6 NBA finals. Michael Jordan was named the Finals MVP. When the lights were brightest and the pressure was highest, he was at his absolute best. He never shied away from the big moment, he lived for it. He never even allowed a final series to go to a Game 7. That's a level of clutch performance that is simply unmatched. Beyond the stats and the trophies, though, was his mentality. The killer instinct. Jordan's competitiveness was legendary. He hated losing more than he loved winning. He would use anything a slight from an opponent, a critical media article, sometimes things he just made up in his own head, as fuel. He pushed himself to the absolute limit and demanded the same from his teammates. Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, Steve Kerr. They all became better players because they were in his orbit. He held everyone to his impossibly high standard, and in doing so, he elevated the entire team to legendary status. This psychological warfare was as much a part of his game as his fadeaway jumper. Think about the flu game. In the 1997 NBA Finals, suffering from what was likely food poisoning, so sick he could barely stand, he went out and dropped 38 points to lead his team to a pivotal victory. Or when he came back from his first retirement and, after shaking off the rust, led the Bulls to another three-peat, culminating in the 72-10 season, which was the best regular season record in NBA history at the time. These aren't just basketball stories, they're stories of human will and determination. So, how good was Michael Jordan, really? He was so good that he transcended the sport. He turned basketball into a global game. Kids all over the world, from Beijing to Barcelona, wanted to be like Mike. He became a marketing powerhouse, with his Jordan brand becoming a billion-dollar entity. He changed how athletes were perceived, not just as players, but as cultural icons and businessmen. He was a perfect storm of unparalleled athleticism, supreme skill, suffocating defense, and an unbreakable will to win. He was an artist on the court and a warrior in spirit. When you combine all of these elements, you get a player who didn't just play the game, he defined it. The stats are incredible, the championships are historic, but his true greatness lies in the way he dominated every single facet of the game, both physically and mentally. He wasn't just playing basketball. He was Michael Jordan, and there will never be another one like him. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this look back at the GOAT, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the legends of the game. Let me know in the comments who you think is the greatest of all time. See you in the next one.